Howdy again, y'all. Sean from KappisCards again, trying to figure out how all of this ever works on this. I swear, every time I put in on here that it should be, orientation as the, horizontal, it sits here and it tells me it's not. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the ceiling, that's the floor. This is what I can't show. There we go. There we go. Let's stay just like that. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do this. Okay. So sorry about the little, fly around the room right there as I get set up. But thanks everybody jumping in and joining us. Kappi should hopefully be joining us here very soon as well as we go through and look at this box of 1991 Pro Set Series 1 that I purchased while I was on vacation down in Pigeon Forge, in that area in Tennessee. So the big card in here, there's only one card really of note in pretty much the entire set, all the series. But the one card of note is Bill Belichick's rookie card, right? And I know a coach rookie card, what are you talking about? But I'm telling you, a coach had a rookie card. So that's what we're going to look for in here. And of course, just to sit around and talk and stuff like that. The Mets are in the rain delay anyway. So we'll see what else we can find out of this. And since we had some luck last time when I had an appetizer pack, I was in Meyer today and I got some appetizer packs. So let's see what we can find in the appetizer to warm up here and see if it once again beats the actual thing I was trying to do. I was trying to look at the score packs last time around. We got this nice Roger Clemens autograph last time. So let's see what we can find here. Jackson, that's the Clemens, right? But I had the autograph version. Waldrop, Churio, James Woods, nice pack so far. Ramirez, really Stargell in the color variant. That is Louder, Alex Gordon, Palmer, Jim Palmer, Don Mattingly, Jimmy Rollins, Bagwell. All right, we got stuff coming up here. Let's do this. Here's Pedro, Robin Ventura, Dustin Pedroia, Andrew Jones, and Dylan Cruz. So we got both the Nats rookies. Lawler, yeah, Jimmy Rollins there, Phillies fans. I know you love them. Hunter, they're not doing well. I just saw the Little League World Series they gave up an inning or so ago. John Smoltz, Jack Leiter, Wainwright. Ooh, look at this. Look at that. 2 of 15. Cal Ripken, Elite Series. 2 of 15. And grab the old stuff I wasn't prepared for here. 2 of 15. Of course, growing up where I did in Maryland, right? Cal Ripken was basically God, in the 1980s and early 90s. But nice Elite Series Ripken. We'll put that right there. So we have something shiny on the screen. Namala, Brandon Sproat, who should be coming up soon for the Mets. Meyer, Clifford. I gotta pull the computer here closer so I can actually read what you're saying. Yeah, the Ripken. Nice call. Ryan Clifford. All right, Gordon is hiding something else in optic here. What is this? Chipper? That is not numbered, it's just a prism. Optic prism. Chipper Jones. This is just Alex Gordon in the optic. But nice, not numbered. It's just a nice, kind of, almost feels a little thicker. A little. But not much. We'll just set that there. All right, one more appetizer, and then we'll get in the main event. As I'm going back to work Friday for my opening meetings and junk like that back on campus, I'll be able to hit all the stuff up there in the Muncie area that I haven't been able to hit and do a video about that probably over the weekend here. As I continue to finish up the baseball packs, I've got 6 teams left to update. Sosa, it's Ortiz this time in the red, white, and blue. Caminero. Michael Jack Schmidt. Ken Griffey Jr. The kid there. Randy Johnson. I was about to say Randy Arizona. Pujols. Erighetti. Here's Cam Caminiti's rated prospect. We got another one of these green cards hiding here. So let's do that and see Johnny Bench. A-Rod Skeens, Pitts fan out there. He got lit up a little yesterday. Man, somebody can explain the Brewers to me. I'm all ears. After watching them, beat the Mets, sweep the Mets over the weekend, they're good, but like, how are they this good? Evan Carter, Jim Cott, Pee Wee Reese. There's Noble Meyer, Solace. This is Bryce Rayner of the Tigers. Blake Burke. All right, so what's Mattingly hiding this time in the green? It's a Johnny Bench. And that's numbered to 149. 98 of 149. Johnny Bench. So, hey, for $6.99, you're not going to do better at Meyer, at least, right? Than going through and opening those. I mean, considering they want 35 for a blaster of score, right, that I opened in the last video. And they want, 45 for a Topps Chrome blaster? I'm going to take those every time. But we'll see what else they've got up there in the Muncie area. I'll hit a few Walgreens, hit some of the other shops up there, the other stores. And I don't know if I'll have time to go to the flea market and stuff up there on Friday, but I'm sure I will soon. Yeah, $6.99. Get some nice stuff out of there. So this was $19.99, as you might have seen on the cover before I ripped it. And I loved these as a kid. I always collected the top set, and then I got into this. These were always at Value City by me, right? Growing up, Value City bought out GB's, which was a department store out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. If you ever seen the movie Slapshot, there's a couple scenes where they walk past Glosser Brothers. That's GB's. So here's somebody coming to say hi. He just came in. Come here, buddy. I got a coach to start off, but not the rookie card of a coach you're looking for. Kappi, come over here. No, Kappi's on the other side of the room. Crazy buying a lot of things from eBay. Yeah, I noticed. I appreciate that. Oh, Jeff Wright. Dexter Carter. Here's the star of the show. Now he's here. Kappi, you want to say hi? Meow, meow, meow? No? I'm just going to find the plastic, of course. And especially with these trash bag wrappers that they got, with these Pro Set packs. Eric Green. John Giesick is not a Cowboys name I've said in a while. Tune. I have no expectations for the Cowboys this year. Absolutely none. Like I've said before, they could win, their normal allotment of games to put them around 500. They could win 2 games, and I wouldn't be surprised. Thurman Thomas giving the Bills the lead in Super Bowl 25. There's Jim Kelly. Kappi, what are you yelling about over there? Why don't you come and yell over here? Jim Lachey, another one that was, bigger than God out there. The Giants, optimistic. You at least got something to look forward to there with Jackson Dart, right? This is just the propaganda. So in every one of these as well, we're going to get a World League card from the original World League. And I'm just going to put these in the mix box that I'm building over there of stuff that will eventually go back up as my overstock box. One of the teams I haven't done yet is the Blue Jays. Whoops, as I hit the tripod trying to open this. So once I get through them, I might be pretty close to having enough in that box to put it up. There in the old Etsy shop. If you're not familiar with the Etsy shop, there's the link. And like, subscribe, etc. We're still working our way towards 2,000. A long way to get there. But we'll come up with something soon about that. Wayne Fonts is the wrong coach again. Waters, Tim Harris, Sharp, Gary Anderson. And I remember him very much as a Steeler, but you remember him best maybe for that miss in the 98 NFC Championship game for the Vikings. Boomer. There's the Rocket Ishmael rookie card. One of the reasons why this set isn't so great, and a lot of the 91 sets aren't so great, right? There's not a lot of rookies that really stand out because he should have been the number 1 pick, right? But skipped over to the CFL, right? Instead, Art Monk. Another one growing up outside of D.C. was big. How about Andre Badmoon Rison? Chan Gailey. I don't remember him being the head coach of a football team other than the Cowboys. But he was of the Birmingham Fire. Red Grange. Yeah, loved him in Ole Miss. He's a sleeper. Pairing him with Malik Neighbors, it should be scary enough, right, for the other teams in the NFC East. At least something to look at. That, hey, there's what we're looking for. That's the card we wanted right there. That is Bill Belichick's rookie card. So I've seen these when they're graded and stuff in a good condition that, they can actually pull a decent price, but this one would not. Can you see there? The corner? When it stands out against the card like that, it's been touched. That is a wrapper that caught that corner when I was opening it. I probably did that. But that's Bill Belichick's rookie card. That'll be in a Browns pack when we ever do a football update. Probably be a couple weeks here till we get that started. Scott Norwood missing that. So stick around. We still got the rest of the box to open. I bet I've pulled a few of them. Alfred Williams. How about Troy Aikman telling you to stay off drugs? We'll put that down. It's Troy Aikman. Oh, I forgot there were referee cards in here. Oh, man. Charles Haley. And speaking of Cowboys, there's Jason Garrett. When he was a San Antonio Rider. Sure. I guess that's technically his rookie card too then, right? Is he still on NBC doing the pregame stuff this year? He's pretty terrible in the booth for Notre Dame games. Let's get this out of here. Kansas City Chiefs riff card, yeah. I saw, the happy couple making the rounds in the news again today, right, of the Chiefs with Kelsey and his, girlfriend there. Paige O'Neill saying, I focus too much on doing other things. Gee, I wonder why. Dan Marino getting pursued there by the Jets. Chris Miller. What could have been with Chris Miller, they picked him over Brett Favre, right? The teacher of the year. Really, NFL, you could have done better than some apple in a little, display there. Jack Williams, the teacher of the year. The Rams halting the 49ers. Hey, we got Dick Hantak again. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. There's Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy is not on Fox NFL Sunday anymore with Ray Savage behind him. He's giving it up finally. He's getting up there. Definitely getting old. I'm going to put my Cowboys down here. I've got so many of those Cowboys cards that I'm not keeping them. I'm just putting them there just because I can. Cap, you ever going to come back over? Dick McPherson again. I keep pulling the same one, but the wrong one. Jim Richter, Steve Diassi, Willie Galt, Jack Del Rio, and Delisic, Jack Pardee. Man, there's no shortage of coaches in this, right? Since this was the NFL's branded thing. Howie Long. The Bills coming from behind. There's that Rams card again. Here's Boomer Esiason telling you, don't drink. Good luck. Warren Moon. And that is Jerome Brown, right? Yeah. With Todd Hamill of the New York, New Jersey Knights. Stephen F. Austin's Todd Hamill. Okay. How many cards are in that World League set? Can we get the whole set in 36 packs? Chuck Knox. Every pack starts with a coach. Wydell, Stams, Bruce Smith. Of course, the other thing we could find in here, and I doubt we're going to find it because it was actually rare, is Santa Claus. Hamilton. That is Carl Banks? Yeah, Carl Banks. Is he still on the Giants broadcast? For Dwight, do you know that? Montana there. Tim Brown, Heisman Hero card. Kevin Clark. Jankovic to rebuild Patriots. Didn't work. Yeah, he's still there. I remember him coming on WFAN a lot when I was living back east, right, to promote those sorts of things. Randall McDaniels in the Hall of Fame. How about Jack Bicknell and the Sacramento Surge? Ooh, it's got the schedule in the back and their address and everything. They tried with that World League. They really did. And then the NFL bought it and bastardized it and made it just Europe. And then it made it 4 teams at the end or something like that. Like the one in London and 3 German teams or something. They could use a minor league thing, but, They're not going to share the profit. At least we didn't start with a coach this time. Rathman, Ronnie Lippett, Marshall, Brooks, Broussard, Mike Ditka, Lorenzo White. Remember Lorenzo White in Tecmo Super Bowl? He was always solid. Ray Childress, Millard, Townsend. We got another referee here, and Pat Haggerty. Boomer, Chris Zorich, that is Joey Browner, and Kerwin Bell for the Orlando Thunder. Nice. Is that a mustache? Like an awful porn stash there? But Kerwin Bell from Florida. Sticking around playing in Orlando. What do they play in Orlando? The Citrus Bowl? Or whatever they call that now. These packs are annoying. There's Ron Meyer. Right, Ron Meyer from the Colts. Just watched that SMU documentary with him in it the other day again. Always enjoy that Pony Excess one. Sam Weish, Tasker, Eric Green, Sterling Sharp, Hall of Famer. Just got in. Van Horn, Norton. Some of our large pizza with extra sausage. Reggie Cobb, Brock, Word. Here are the Giants winning with Matt Barr kicking 5 field goals, right, in that NFC Championship game. Bo Jackson, and the Heisman hero card. A Red Cashin. First down, Red Cashin, right? He always had an emphatic way of doing it. I still remember. And Paul McGowan. It's kind of sad. I can remember referees and their lingo. Was he the giving him the business guy, too? All right. Shane Conlon. Clarence Verdeen. Clay Matthews. Diassi. Dermonte Dawson, another Hall of Famer. Joe Bugle. Bruce Hill. Massey. And Dick Jorgensen is not one I remember, but Dick Jorgensen. We pulled that before, didn't we? Derek Thomas, the late Derek Thomas. Sack leader. Here he is, the safety from Super Bowl 25. That is the 10-1 49ers beating the 10-1 Giants. I got 2 referee cards in this pack. I'm pissed now. I'd have been really pissed as a kid. Bob McElwee there. Lawrence Taylor and Don Matthews, the head coach of the Thunder. Or the Orlando Thunder. CeeDee Lamb getting taken out by the ref was great. Yeah, I saw that in the game the other day. He's just cheering on the sidelines. I think he's penalized for it. I mean, at least it was the preseason and not like some stupid, penalty at the end of some game that mattered. That seems like something the Cowboys would do. Pickens and Lamb could be interesting, right? But, I mean, I don't know. They have nothing in the running back game. I have no faith in Schottenheimer. I mean, I could be wrong. I hope I am. But Art Shell, Leslie O'Neal, Rodney P. I mean, I've got 30 years of defense on my back, to back me up here. Here's Barry Sanders, Heisman hero card. Nick Lowry. There's Stephen Baker and Jimmy Johnson again with Kay Stevenson and with a Walter Payton card. I like that Walter Payton card. The Pro Set Special Insert. I'll put that down, too. That's a decent card, isn't it? Comparatively speaking, I should say a decent card. I don't think we're halfway through the box yet. Kappi is fast asleep over on the sofa, so we're going to let him there. He knows, right? He knows there's not much exciting in this, and he missed the Cal Ripken that I pulled. So, Munoz is a Hall of Famer. Derek Thomas again, that's his base card. Boomer again, Hartley Dykes, Ernest Givens, Jeff Query, Roy Green, Biner, LT, Bo Jackson getting hurt in that playoff game. That is the Bills beating the Broncos. That is Bruce Smith. Barry Sanders in the, I don't know what they called these cards, all NFC team. And then Scott Ernie of the Barcelona Dragons out of Rutgers. Aside from Jason Garrett, is there going to be any players in that set that I recognize? Stan Gelball, or is that too late? That's what the only, Kurt Warner played in NFL Europe, but way, way after this. Kevin Porter, Kevin Fagan, Ingram, Connor, Dan Henning, Jarvis Williams, McKyer, Agee, Lomas Brown, Norm Shatter, Nick Lowry, 9-7, Chiefs win. Oh, the body bag game for the Redskins. Don't ban me, YouTube. That's what they were called. Was that Jeff Rutledge? Yeah. Rippon and Humphreys, right? Got hurt. So Jeff Rutledge coming in. That is Carly and Mike Riley. Mike Riley, the Oregon State coach, people like that. Is that where he went on to? Head coach of the Winnipeg Grey Cup champions, 1990. Found himself in the World League. All right, let's get some more Belichicks here. How about John Elway? It's another one that keeps popping up, right? His 30 for 30, right? The draft one with him, Elway to Marino. DeBerg, basically 60 minutes of John Elway saying Baltimore sucks. Kevin Green, Jeff Bryant, Bill Fralick, Eric McMillan, Wade Wilson, Jerry Burns is our coach this time. Michael Kofer, there's Warren Moon, speaking of CFL alums. Thurman Thomas, here we got Chuck Knoll, 200 victories card. Ty Detmer, that is Mel Gray, yeah. And then Jack Elway, John's dad, coaching there for the Frankfurt Galaxy. He was also in that 30 for 30. All right, I got a mess piling up here next to me. Farron, Mecklenburg, Bernie Kosar. And Baltimore sucks. Oh my God, I remember that Super Bowl that with the Giants there. That was just after I graduated college, my BA of college, right? That Super Bowl wrong because I graduated mid-year. And Johnny Greer, I remember many Super Bowls, but yeah, watching that game and come on, the Ravens have no offense. They're not going to do anything, and they just beat the hell out of you. Chris Dolman there is that one, and Mark May for the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks, playing out of Carter Finley. I remember that. Got about 20 packs to go. See if we can find any more of these Belichicks in here. All right. Porter, Lippett, Ingram, John Robinson, and Ditka are the coaches that time. Whites, McKyer, we've seen this run. Townsend, that teacher of the year again. Thurman Thomas, 9-7, Zorich, Browner, and the World League opener, the first game. How'd they get to 11? And then really shaving that in your head. But did they have 2-pointers in the World League back then? I don't remember. I bet my dad they would have been, didn't. I stuck with it. Well, it's one way to get on the bandwagon, right? I mean, I got on the Cowboys bandwagon because I hated all the local teams growing up because I remember the Colts moving to Indianapolis is one of the first memories I had since I lived, basically about equidistant between Baltimore and Washington. And, it was on TV, right? I remember sitting in the den and watching it and not understanding what these trucks were doing and why people were upset. Right? I was 4.5, something like that. And it's Joe Gibbs, speaking of. But everybody was a Redskins fan then, so I just became a Cowboys fan. And I had a little, something I got at a toy store that was like a little action figure guy. It was before starting lineups. It was made with a rubber band in between, and it just happened to be Roger Staubach. And, I just got into it, and I went from there. It's the head of the officials, Art McAnally, Chuck Knoll, and then that's, I still got so much of my stuff from my childhood, right, back here, my Cowboys and Mets stuff. And now I've got the tripod stuck. All my starting lineups over there and everything, and that type of stuff from mostly from when I was a kid, though I did complete the collection when I got older, some of the more expensive ones. Sean Knight of the Surge. See, I went to college, right, at the University of Delaware, so, you know, I have plenty of friends that are from that Philly, Jersey area, right, that have that, you know, connection there, that are all fans, of course, of Philly teams, right? A couple of Giants fans are splattered in there, right? And I think I had one Jets fan as a friend in college, right, or at least an acquaintance. But, you know, most of them are Philly fans. And, of course, you know, when the Cowboys weren't on, what do I have to do when I got of age, right? Because in Delaware, you couldn't go into a bar under 21. You know, I'd go and watch, and that would never go great, right? Russell, Maryland. That is, what do you call it? Munoz again. Sean Landetta, great name. And John Witkowski of the London Monarchs out of Columbia. John Witkowski. It looks like the rain's finally clearing up there in Queens, so maybe I'll get started here before this is over. Hopefully staying on the winning streak like they got last night. Alonso hitting that home run and everything. Hit 2 of them last night, but it has been an ugly month and a half, 2 months in Mets world. Lewis, Gary Zimmerman's a Hall of Famer. Randall Cunningham. Roger Craig. Here's Tom White. Tom Dooley, thanks. Back-to-back Toms. Jay Novacek, the tight end leader. Heck of a tight end. That's Jay Hilgenberg, right? Yeah. And Greg Gilbert of the San Antonio Riders. Always think of the old USFL San Antonio team, the Gunslingers. Whenever I think of San Antonio football. How's it going so far? What's up, man? We got the one Belichick so far, right? A little bit of a touched corner. This was the best hit out of the appetizers, right? The Ripken to 15, where I, you know, grabbed a couple fat packs of Donruss today just to grab something else, and that's nice. And Johnny Bench is number 2 right here, but not the 15. Elway again, Fagan, Kevin Green is in the Hall of Fame. I think I mentioned that before. Terry McDaniel, Dan Henning. Williams, Jerry Burns, Tommy Agee. We have seen a lot of these before, including Pat Haggerty and Chuck Noll and the Body Bag Game and Carl Lee. With Ray Savage, I think we've even seen. The Montreal Machine. So here you go, growing up in Baltimore, right? I remember when the Baltimore CFL Stallions played, right? The couple years. Baltimore, right? The only city to win a World Series, a Super Bowl, and a Grey Cup, right? You know, did they win? They didn't win. The Baltimore Bullets didn't win an NBA title, too, did they? I don't think so. But when they were the Bullets in Baltimore originally, Wes Unseld in the early 70s. But I don't think they did. But either way, right? And, I still remember they moved to Montreal, right? They're the Montreal CFL team that still exists, whatever they're called now. Jim Kelly, McMillan, Wade Wilson. There's Aikman's base cards. First time we've seen it. So, Kofor, Warren Moon, more referees that we've seen already. Jerry Rice, miss you PC87. Always love that channel. He always loved Jerry Rice. Jim Kelly. That Cal is cool and realized Belichick's first card got one of those laying around. Yeah, I think we all do for all that age, right? That is technically Bill Belichick's rookie card. So it's Kerwin Bell again. Baltimore Colts, yeah, way, way back, right? Like I said, I mean, the other thing growing up, right? It's one of the other. What's up there, Perry? So yeah, I mean, you know, growing up like I did in Maryland, in Central Maryland, and all that sort of stuff. After the Colts moved here to Indiana, right, which I followed 30 years later. You know, every event we went to, you know, carnivals, parades, the Great Frederick Fair, right, you know, stuff like that. The Baltimore Colts band played all of them, right? So it was always confusing to, like, especially when I was like 8 years old, right? Like, the Colts are gone. You know, why is this band? What are they doing? But that was your original name. That's what I still remember it as. Okoye, Kent Hall, Cortez Kennedy is in the Hall of Fame, isn't he? Benny Blades, Barnett, Jim Harbaugh, Courtney Hall, Art Shell is a Hall of Famer too. Herschel Walker, Brett Maxey, that is Mike Singletary, yet another Hall of Famer. And we got Brent Peace along with the Riders. Who is Brent Peace? Out of Montana. He might have won some 1AA championships when he was there. I don't know. But I'm going to miss 1AA football. I'm not going to follow it the same with Delaware jumping up to Conference USA now. He's a streamer who is outrageous, 65, and they pay him to do crazy things. Okay. I'm sure there's, I mean, is it like Jackass, that kind of stuff? Or, you know, whatever. That might be. It's the other set that the Dickerson is the rare card, the 90s set. That the Dickerson is actually has a little bit of value, or the 89 set that the Dickerson actually has a little bit of value. Steve Atwater for being a, you know, junk wax era card. Byers, Stubbs. I've been looking around too to see if I can find some more wax boxes like this to open. I enjoy doing this. It gives us something else to do on the live stream. Montana. And I don't think you all want to sit around and watch me like make packs and stuff, because that might be the other thing we could do here. Ronnie Lawton. And then Mike Riley again. But oops. Always banging the dang tripod. Did Kappi leave? No, he's just sitting over by the door. Again, these aren't big enough for Kappi. Covert, Kane, Greg Jackson's, Bill Fralick. If you're a starting lineup fan, right, you know who Bill Fralick is. Because the most expensive starting lineup, right? You might think starting lineups it's going to be, you know, Michael Jordan or, you know, Barry Sanders or, you know, Derek Jeter or somebody like that, right? No, it's Bill Fralick. That is the most expensive one. Just because it's the 89 set and it's so short printed and stuff like that. Mikowski, Testaverde, because it was only in regional packs, and, you know, when they first came out with starting lineups, the first 2 years, and they made like 5 or 6 players a team. Jackie Slater. He says, keep the peace, you better listen. Barry Sanders, Mike Singletary, nice run of Hall of Famers there. Matt Barr making the last field goal in the Super Bowl. That is Neil Anderson, Wayne Davis, and the Barcelona Dragons. He even gave you that address to go over to Barcelona and hit him up. Oh, let's finish this row out. And there he is. 3, it's still 10 packs in there. Dan Reeves this time. Bill Brooks. Bill Brooks spoke at my daughter's school. You know, it's a Christian school. It's got men's club. They meet at like 6 in the morning, right? Which I don't know if I'm going to do that. But, you know, maybe I should to like mix with some dads or something. I don't know. But Bill Brooks spoke at it. You know? Eric Howard, Jeff Hostetler. I guess that's who you can pay to come in at 6 in the morning and give a speech. He is a local business person. Don't get me wrong. He is very successful in real estate and stuff in the Indy area. Noga, Jim Mora, Jan Stederud, Hall of Fame card. Verdine, Tex Schramm's Hall of Fame card. Reggie White. And Jack Elway again. All right. Come on. There's got to be more Belichick. So we pulled it out of what? The 3rd pack? There's got to be another one. We're hitting doubles of everything else. These are getting plenty of pack fresh cards for this. So since I've been in school, I've been up 4:30 every day. Yeah, 6:30 for me, and we're still kind of pushing it. Because unfortunately, the school we go to, there's a lot of construction and stuff around it. So, so yeah. Stubbs, there's Aikman again. Mike Munchak's a Hall of Famer. I keep saying that, but you know, there's more Hall of Famers in every pack. That's the one thing I guess that's nice about this, right? You do hit another one, right? Jim Kelly, Ronnie Lott's in the Hall of Fame. There he is again. So, I mean, that's kind of nice. Jacques Doucet of the Montreal Machine. Mount Allison University in Sackville, New Brunswick. Not familiar with that one. So he coached a lot of places. And then the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks. So they played at Carter Finley? Yes, they did. NC State's stadium, my other alma mater, as I always call it. That's where I got my PhD. North Carolina State University. Roman Gabriel, NC State alum. Right, was the head coach and director of football operations. He was a quarterback for a while there in the NFL. All right. James Brooks, Dwayne Bickett, Carter, Cortez Kennedy. There's Jimmy's base card. So I'm gonna miss Jimmy. Right. I don't know who replaced him. Is it gonna be Gronk full time probably on the show there? Or they bring another coach in. Seth Joyner, Mandrich, Marino to is that Clayton? It looks like in that picture. Yep, Mark Clayton. That is Charles Mann. Yeah. Charles Mann used to do all the commercials, right? You know, all the local commercials that, you know, we can make fun of and stuff like that, like the local, you know, restaurants and Subaru dealerships and stuff like that. It was always Charles Mann. Didn't he do the Hungry Man commercials too? Dan Marino, Jerry Rice, and Anthony Parker. Anthony Parker. Lots of names that I do not remember. All right. Pierce Holtz, Eric Metcalf, Butler, Nick Lowry, Tim Green, Richard Williamson, this time's our coach, Richard Johnson. These are different names this time. Mark Murphy, Tim Rosenbach. Remember when he had something for like a minute, right? There's a quarterback there. Marcus Allen, Heisman hero, Hall of Famer. Turnbull, that is Ray Childress. Yeah. John Hanna, Hall of Fame card. It's Joe Montana. I like the black on that. That's meant to be that way. It's not the edge. But I like that card. Ben Bennett and then Russell Maryland's #1 draft choice card. How's that numbered 694 in this part of this Series 1? I thought Series 1 went a lot shorter than that. But I'm actually going to put that there with the Cowboys because I don't know if I have that card. I probably do. I'm just not remembering it. Braves already got a runner on? What the hell happened? Marty Schottenheimer. There is Bruce Armstrong, Hall of Famer. Mark Jackson, James Francis, Donaldson, Gary Anderson, Richmond Webb, Brian Noble, Sadler, Grant. Here we got the troops watching the Super Bowl, along with Gerald Austin, Jerry Austin behind him. Pat Swilling, there's Emmett, the first. Emmett was in 90 Pro Set, wasn't he? Of course, Irvin behind him, but that's the first card in the set. Yeah. The Pro Set Rookie of the Year, Emmett Smith. Just a handful of packs left. Like, subscribe if you're venturing in, you're new to the channel, just checking out what's going on. I do these sorts of things and retail rips and all kinds of fun stuff. And hang out with my cat who is big timing us. This isn't cool enough for him. He's over by the door. Bruce Matthews, Stinson, Gil Bird. He was in that 83 draft. Hodge, Archell again. There's Whitney Houston, right, with her great Star Spangled Banner performance. That is Randall Cunningham getting sacked probably. Jerry Seaman. How much was the box of garbage? One of my favorite. This was $19.99 at a card shop in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, when I was on vacation. Anthony Green. Yeah, so it was really, they had, it was a really nice card shop. It was, a strip mall card shop. And, lots and lots of new stuff. Lots of new stuff. Blasters and things like that. And it was fairly busy, and I only had like 10 minutes. So, I was walking around, I saw this, like, let's open this. I haven't done something like this. George Seifert this time. John L. Williams, Minifield. And of course, I got the hobby box of Score that I opened a few videos back to. Same time, same place. Anthony Thompson, Martin Mayhew, Smith. Here he is, Mark Ingram getting a first down. Mark Bright again. Man, these damn official cards. Were they in the set? They were. Jim Tunney, Vinny Testaverde, Darryl Green, and Kevin Sweeney, the old Cowboys quarterback. He was 7th round pick of the Cowboys, 87 draft. Had no idea he played for the Montreal Machine. Yeah, about $20 anymore to go for a wax box from that era. That's about the going rate for any of the cheapest stuff, right? I mean, you get it online, you get it on eBay, you're also going to add on, you know, another, what, 15, 18 bucks shipping now. So Dickerson, Kane, Jim Kelly. I almost got some at the antique mall yesterday, and it's just a little more than I wanted to pay for a couple other things they had there, around like 90 Fleer. Right? You know, I wasn't paying 35 for that, right? I think was it was. So if it was a little cheaper, I might have. But Carrier, Joe Montana again, player of the year. Matt Barr making that field goal again. Neil Anderson and John Carter of the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks. John Carter. Another one was a Cowboy for a little while. At least he was on the developmental roster. What is this? 4 more packs in the box, plus this in my hand. I do not miss these wrappers. I'm glad they have gone away into something a lot more durable. Marv Levy is also in the Hall of Fame. Henry Ellers, Slaughter, Jackson, Donaldson, Duper, Ernie Jones, Marion Butts, Clifton, Ilkin, Stan Jones, Hall of Fame card. Mike Rozier's Heisman Trophy. This is Dale Hammer. Is that Bortz, right? Mark Bortz. And there's Roman Gabriel. That is an ugly friggin' logo. I guess it's supposed to be 3 jets flying away. Right? You know, like fighter jets or something. Skyhawks. That is pretty damn ugly. Even by 1991 standards. At least it wasn't like, you know, that, what was that? Orlando uniform that's like bright aqua or something. Ugh, garbage bags. I need a garbage bag to deal with all this pile of junk. Guyton, Kelso, Singleton, Connor, Irwin, Gary Clark, Criswell, Small, Johnson, Otis Anderson again, Teleclinic with Warren Moon, and I don't know who the other 2 are. That's Warren Moon. Warren Moon, Derek Thomas, and Wade Wilson with Greg Gumbel, the late Greg Gumbel. Warren Moon, Jackie Slater, and Mike Perez for the Frankfurt Galaxy out of San Jose State. Mike Perez. Kappi, you going to come over? Oh, we got 3 packs left. No. Mommy knocked down your blanket off the couch, didn't she, when she was laying there? Oops. Caught it. So, yeah, like, subscribe. We'll do more of these things here soon. Definitely appreciate all the subscribers, all the commenters. Here's Dion. It's the first time we've seen Dion, isn't it? Thomas. Hey, Michael Irvin. First time we've seen him. Grimes. That was Jim. Don't call him Chris Everett. Haran. Earl Campbell. The Tyler Rose. Steve Tisch buying half the Giants. That is Keith Jackson. Teeter and the junk. So, Teeter of the Galaxy. It's like one piece of blanket like stayed on the top of the couch, and that's what Kappi managed to find his way onto. So that's where we'll say goodbye to him here. If I can get the phone off right, because I got the new iPhone, and it's got this extra button like right here, right? And right here where the clamp is on the thing that sends it over to the photo, you know, pulls up so you can take pictures automatically. And it's annoying as hell. Tim McDonald, Irwin Randall. I hit it all the damn time. Al Smith, just grabbing the phone. The camera pops up. Merriweather, Gene Barth, Barry Sanders, Singletary's Man of the Year, Tex Schramm again, Reggie White, Mouse Davis. Let's do some run and shoot with Mouse Davis, right? Yep, the silver stretch. Yeah, see? Innovation, explosive run and shoot offense. Yeah, new phone does something. It's annoying as hell. Go to a card store, might cost a little less, right? But yeah. Yeah, you get that eBay shipping. And we'll do that. But I have to go to the LCS. I haven't done it yet. Maybe later this week. The one down by my daughter's school. I'll check that out. So Dan Reeves, Bill Brooks. We've seen this collation already. Millard, Taylor, Collins, Hayward, Cross, Isaac Holt, Gordon McCarter. That's a different one. But we've seen Stederud. We've seen Verdeen. Here is Jerry Glanville clapping because they beat the Oilers. That is Pepper Johnson. Yeah. And Mike Lynn, the president and CEO of the World League of American Football. Okay, so we got the London Monarchs, the San Antonio, whatever they were, Montreal. Was that the Fire, right? The Rhine Fire, was that the team? The Sacramento Surge. That's the Orlando team, Barcelona, Raleigh-Durham, Frankfurt, and New York, New Jersey. Did I get them all? I think I did. So, oh well. Kappi, you missed some fun. If you joined us late, right, I did open 2 fat packs of Donruss Baseball to start. That was obviously our best hit. It's a Ripken to 15 out of the Elite Series. 2 out of 15. So it's kind of nice to get a really super short print of Cal Ripken. And then this Johnny Bench was to what, 149? Yeah, 98 of 149. So, and that chipper is just a nice design. But we only got the one Belichick rookie card. The rookie card there. The touched corner is the bad part of it. But either way, it'll find its way into my packs over there in the Etsy shop. And like I said, I got 6 baseball teams left to go. They're the teams that already have a lot in stock anyway, but I'll just update these last 6, and then I'll get over to sorting football and then start making football packs and probably watching football and doing everything else. So here's what we can do. I'm just going to take this. Sorry if you can see me as I'm coming through here. So I don't take it off and accidentally bump. So you can see there's the Brewers that I haven't done yet with my slippers. But here's the star of the show who didn't want to hang out with us. All right. You big timed us. So he's been a good boy. He's been hanging out with me. He's going to miss me, when I start going back to teach and I'm gone all day. But he's the boss around here, right? Yeah. You had a busy day today, too. You were chasing a fly around the house. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and we will come back around here again in the near future with something else new and something else fun, and we'll talk to you all again very soon. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.